Coming live from the studio, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for watching another episode of All Sports. This is your host Gerardo. So today I'm going to give you an update in baseball of both the American League and the National League and the current standings in every division. I'm going to talk about NFL training camp and all the competition that's taking place. And I'm going to talk about the upcoming NBA season and the release of schedules of every team and primetime games. To start off, in just a few days, since it's going to be the middle of August, you will see a video posted from Tropicana Field, and then next month you will see a video posted from Marlins Park in the middle of September. Just remember that every month, at the middle of every month, I will post or talk about one baseball stadium that I've been to over the next 30 months. So you will have to wait and see what stadium I talk about or what video I post from that stadium. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to sharing those videos. Also, if you have not checked out the other videos that I posted from Florida, I highly recommend that you watch those videos as well. So to begin, I'm going to give you an update of every division in both the American League and the National League. So to start off with the American League East, right now the Boston Red Sox are leading this division at 82 games. The New York Yankees are sitting 9 games back. So the Boston Red Sox actually gained a lead from the New York Yankees. So there's a bit of room for the Red Sox to win this division and to win more games and to gain a lead from the Yankees as well. In the American League Central, the Cleveland Indians are leading this division at 64 games. They have a 11-game lead, so they're probably going to win this division. In the American League West, right now the Houston Astros are leading this division at 73 games, but the Oakland Athletics are at 68 games and they're sitting 4.5 games back from the division, and the Seattle Mariners are only 6 games back. So there's a little bit of competition in this division. The Oakland Athletics have been playing better lately, especially in July. They were one of the best teams in the American League. The Mariners have been playing good lately as well, so the Athletics and the Mariners could be competition to the Astros. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies are tied right now for this division. They're sitting at 63 games. And the Washington Nationals are at 59 games. They're 5.5 games back from this division. They still have a chance at competing for this division, but it's looking like this division is going to be won by either the Braves or the Phillies. They've just been playing better this season, and they've been leading this division, and they've both been tied or only a few games back from each other. In the National League Central, the Chicago Cubs are leading this division at 67 games. The Milwaukee Brewers are at 66 games and they're 3 games back from this division. The Milwaukee Brewers are going to be competition to the Chicago Cubs, so this is going to come down at the end of the season. These two teams have been leading this division, or they've only been a few games back from each other. In the National League West, towards the middle of the season, this was looking like it was going to be a 4-team race for who was going to win this division. Right now it's looking like it's going to be a 3-team race or even a 2-team race as we get closer to the end of the season. And in September, whoever plays better baseball will win this division. So right now, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Los Angeles Dodgers are tied at 64 games. These two teams have been really close to each other throughout this season. They've only been a few games back from each other, and a lot of times the Diamondbacks were leading this division, or now the Dodgers are leading this division. So it's been going back and forth. The Colorado Rockies are sitting at 61 games. They're only 2.5 games back. The San Francisco Giants are sitting at 58 games. They're 6 games back. So in this division, whoever plays better baseball, they will win this division. The Rockies were playing really great in July. They've been struggling these last few weeks here in August. The Diamondbacks and Dodgers have been playing good lately, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Whoever plays better baseball is, of course, the team that's going to win this division and make it into the playoffs. But the wild card in both the American League, but especially in the National League, is going to be very competitive. There's going to be a lot of teams competing for the wild card spots. There's only 2 spots in both the American League and the National League. The National League is going to be more competitive. So whoever doesn't win their division will be competing for the wild card spots. Last year was very competitive as well in the National League, but this year is going to be more competitive. There's going to be like 5 or 6 teams competing for these 2 wild card spots in the National League. So just like I've been telling you guys, whoever plays better baseball in both the American League and the National League, they're going to win their division or get the wild card spots. And there's definitely going to be some teams that deserve to be in the playoffs, and they're going to miss the playoffs. Right now, every game counts. If you lose a game, it's kind of just going to be hurting your team, because that's going to give the opportunity of another team getting above them or taking over a spot, so they have the potential of making it to the playoffs. So there's going to be some teams that definitely will miss the playoffs at the end of the season. There's going to be some teams that deserve to make it into the playoffs, but they didn't. There's going to be some teams that make it into the playoffs. So these last 2 months of baseball is going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait and see what happens in baseball. I'm looking forward to it. And whoever plays better baseball or goes on winning streaks are going to be the teams that make it into the playoffs. Right now, these teams can't lose close baseball games. These races for the division or for the wild card are very tight. So these teams have to play really good baseball, especially now that the trade deadline has passed and they've acquired players from other teams to make their baseball team better. So we're going to have to wait and see how these teams perform the rest of the season. Moving on now, NFL training camp's in its 2nd to 3rd week. There's a lot of competition within every team of who's going to be starters, who's going to be backups, who's going to make it to the practice squad, who's going to be cut or released from the team. So the first week of preseason is going to be underway. There's a lot of games that are going to be played. All the rookies that got drafted in the draft this year, you're going to get the opportunity of seeing them play. It's a very exciting time. The NFL season is less than a month away now. I can't wait and see how these rookies perform, especially Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Bradley Chubbs, and other rookies throughout the NFL. It's going to be very exciting to see the rookies, to see our favorite teams play, to see our favorite players. So another NFL season is underway, and I'm really looking forward to this season and seeing who's going to make it into the playoffs. And I'm looking forward to seeing what teams are going to be better this year, what teams are going to make it to the playoffs, what two teams are going to be in the Super Bowl this year. So I'm just looking forward to that. It's a very good time of year right now. Baseball is very competitive. We're actually seeing good games, good teams. The NFL season's coming up. It's a very good time to be able to see both baseball and football at the same time. The NBA season's going to be coming up in 2 to 3 months. So I'm really looking forward to what's happening. Also, going back to training camp, there's a lot of battles for starting jobs in every position on almost every football team. So I can't wait and see who's going to be starters on every team. See our favorite players. But another sad thing is there's definitely going to be players that get cut from their current team, but that also gives the opportunity of other teams picking up these players, watching film and seeing how these guys performed in training camp or throughout practice or in these preseason games. So players that get cut from their current teams will have the opportunity of playing on other teams and being an impact. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens and what every NFL team does once they have to cut from 90 players down to the 53-man roster. So I'm just looking forward to this year's NFL season. Moving on now, the NBA season is still 2 to 3 months away, but right now towards the middle of August, the NBA schedule comes out of all the primetime games and the games that are going to be played on Christmas. And every NBA team does release their schedule for the upcoming season, so check that out. It's very exciting to know that the NBA season's coming up. I'm looking forward to seeing how all these NBA teams play this year after they acquired players in free agency and they drafted players. So a lot of teams should be better this year. The Western Conference is going to be very competitive now, like it's always been. Both conferences are competitive, especially the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets should be better. There's going to be a lot of teams in the West that are going to be better now. So check out your team's schedule. There's a lot of good teams. That every basketball team has a very good schedule. Almost every team has primetime games. They play very good teams throughout the year. So look forward to the upcoming NBA season. I can't wait for the upcoming NBA season. So looking ahead to next week, I will talk about the first week of NFL preseason. I will tell you this year's 2018 Hall of Fame inductees, which includes a lot of great players. A lot of my favorite players have got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and a lot of players that will be inducted or that they're eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame next year, they'll be on the ballot. There'll be a lot of first-time ballots and other players that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. I will give you an update of every division in both the American League and the National League in baseball. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that watches every episode of All Sports. Until next time, this is Gerardo.